Hello guys, welcome once again to my channel. My name is Julia Rag. I'm a Nigeria YouTuber based in Abuja. If you're seeing my channel for the first time, you are welcome. Thanks for checking by. And if you're my returning subscriber, thank you so much guys. I really appreciate you all. And if you're yet to subscribe, please kindly do so you won't miss out any tutorial from my page, okay? And don't forget to turn on your notification bell. So on today's tutorial, we are going to be making the skirt you see me working on and the one I'm wearing. Sometime last week I made a post for you guys to vote for any tutorial that you want to see on my channel, and you guys vote on this one. I had a lot of vote on this, okay? So I'm going to show you how you can achieve it, and yeah, I'll be showing you those things step by step. So don't miss out any of it. So let's get started. Hello guys, so welcome once again. So on today's tutorial, I'm going to be explaining to you, uh, give you some few tips on what you need to do to achieve this skirt. Let's say the picture you saw on the thumbnail and the picture you're seeing on your screen right now. Okay, we're going to show you how you can go about it to achieve it. So there are two different methods you can do. It's still going to give you the same design, but there are two ways to do it. Okay, so on this one, I'm going to show you how you can also achieve this one, and the one on the screen, I'm also going to explain to you how you can achieve that one. Okay, so if you have your basic pattern, like your basic skirt pattern drafting, I don't know how I'm going to call it, but yeah, if you have your patterns draft out from my previous video, then you can bring your pattern out. Or if you don't have, I'm still going to do some a little bit pattern drafting here before we move to the before we get into the design rather. Okay, so here I have my hip cuff, I have my pattern master, which you have already been seeing. I have my tape roll, I have my marker pen I'm going to use for this tutorial today, the black and the red, and I have my paper scissors. I will advise you to get a separate paper scissors to use. Don't use this scissors on your fabric, and don't use the one you're using on your fabric, don't use it on your paper. Okay, it's going to damage your scissors. So yeah, that's been said. So now let's get starting. The first thing I need to do, I'm going to be making a basic body pattern for skirt. Okay, so I place my fabric on fold. It's because of the tutorial, that is why my fabric my sorry my pattern paper is on fold. Okay, it's because of the tutorial. So if I'm doing it on my own, I know I don't need to fold it. I will just because I know what I'm going to do at the end of the day. So yeah, if you have your pattern paper, you place it on fold, or if you're going to dab direct to the fabric, you place it also on fold. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is to create my starting point like I always do. Okay, is to create my starting point. So I'm going to create my starting line from here. Okay, so automatically this is my waistline. Okay, waistline. All right, so to make a skirt, you need four measurements to be taken when you are drafting a skirt pattern. Okay, so the first one is your waist measurement, and then the second one is the distance from your waist to your hip line. Okay, the third one is your your round hip circumference. Okay, and then the fourth one is the distance from your waist to the your desired length of skirt. Okay, please pardon the background noise. Okay, so the distance that is the four measurement that you will need. All right, so now I'm going to start by taking out my vertical measurement, which is the distance from your waist to your hip, the distance from your waist to your skirt length. Okay, So I'm going to start by marking 8 inches from my waist to my hip line is 8 inches. Okay. So I'm going to draw this dot out to create my hip line. Okay. So the next measurement to be taken is my desired skirt length, which is going to be uh 16 inches. I want it to be 16 inches. Note that this measurement I'm taking is minus my waistband. Okay, my waistband is going to be at least 2 inches. You can do less, you can do more, but I'm going to use 2 inches for my waistband. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have the distance from my natural waistline to my hip line is going to be 10 inches. Okay, take note for this. Okay, so this measurement is minus my waistband. So from my waist to my the distance from my skirt length is 16 inches. I'm going to repeat this measurement here. So the next measurement to be taken now is the horizontal measurement, which you measure around your waist, you round your hip. Okay, so I'm going to start from my waist. My waist is 28 inches. I'm going to mark it 28 divided by 4. I have 7 inches. I'm going to mark my 7 inches here. Okay, and my hip is 40 divided by 4. I have 10 inches. I'm going to mark it on my hip line here. So let me label this one hip line. Okay, so this skirt does not have it doesn't have a dart. Okay, so you can decide to add that to it, you can decide not to. So for me, I don't think it's necessary to add that to it. Okay, move ahead. I have 10 inches here. Okay, I have 10 inches here. So my skirt opening, I'm going to minus 1.5 from here. So I have 8.5 inches here. So I minus 1.5 from the 10 inches from my hip line. So I add I mark 8.5 here. Okay. So the next thing I need to do, I need to connect this marking using my hip cuff. Okay. Okay. As you can see, I did not bring it straight to this point. I just went in a little bit with less than an inch, yeah, to connect it to this part. Okay, because I don't want to have this sharp edges at the end of the day. So if so the next thing I need to do, I need to get the midpoint of my waist. Okay, so what you're going to do to start cutting out those design. Okay, you need to find the midpoint of your skirt, just the same time like you want to add that to your skirt. Okay, find the midpoint of your waist here. Okay, mine is uh mine is 3.5 inches here. Remember, I have not added any sewing allowance. Okay, there is no sewing allowance yet. It's just still just the my waist circumference and my hip circumference, they're still here. Okay, so from my the midpoint of my skirt is 3.5 inches. That is where it is right now. So now I'm going to repeat the same measurement now, 3.5. So I'm going to draw the straight line to connect these dots together. So the next thing after taking this measurement now, it's just the same thing like when you want to add that to your skirt, okay? But this one, there is a big difference, okay? So the difference is that you're going to mark 2.5 inches, 2.5 inches from away from your midpoint of your skirt, okay? You mark 2.5 inches all the way away from here. So here is my 2.5 inches. I'm going to continue marking that 2.5 inches from here, okay? 2.5 inches all the way down. That is this design is the one you saw on your thumbnail and the one you're seeing right now on your screen, okay? So I'm going to the second thing now, I'm going to show you how you get the the second design, okay? So right now this is option one, okay? This is option one. The option one, you have three pieces to cut out. So you have one piece here, piece one, you have piece two, you have piece three, okay? This is option one. This is option one, okay? The option two, I'm going to use black marker so that you will understand. So for option two, you place your tape right in the middle of your dart, right in here, okay? From where the midpoint of your waist is, start from here. You mark 1 inch away from here. Did you see that? So the remaining space here is 2.5 inches, okay? So you're going to place that place your marker like this. You mark your 2.5 inches. So once you have done, and then you connect all this marking. So once you have done, you have option two, okay? So you have one piece to cut out. You have two pieces to cut out, piece one and piece two. That is the option two. So we're going to add our sewing allowance and the ease allowance. So I'm adding a total of 1 inch. So I've added 1 inch allowance. Okay, 1 inch allowance. So I'm going to add 1 inch allowance also here at my to fold my skirt. Okay. So I'm going to work with the design I'm going to use is the one you're seeing on your screen, okay? So that is why I'm going to extend this line out to know where I'm going to cut all my marking from, okay? So if you're going to work with the option two, that means you're going to be cutting from this line, okay? You're going to be cutting from this line if you're working on option two. So that means you're cutting one, okay? You're cutting one, you're cutting two. But if you're going for the option one, you're going to cut You're going to cut here. Okay, you're going to cut here, and you're going to cut here. Okay, that is the option 2. I hope you're understanding. So note that this measurement, there is no joining allowance here yet. So when you're going to cut it on your fabric, remember to add, let me write, add 0.5 inch. Okay, you're adding 0.5 inch here. You're going to add 0.5 inch on this one too. You're adding 0.5 inch here, adding 0.5 inch here. Add 0.5 inch here too. So by this side, you also add 0.5 inch. Please don't forget, okay? And also 0.5 inch. Okay, add 0.5. If you're cutting for the option 2, you are also going to do the same thing. When you're cutting on your fabric, add 0.5 inch from here and also add 0.5 inch from here so that you can join this to this side, okay? So I'm going to add 0.5 inch for to join my waistband to my skirt, okay? So 0.5 inch here. And the next thing, I'm going to cut it out. So I'm going to start by cutting from this line. And then I'm cutting from this one. Okay. So take note, when you're going to cut your fabric, when you're going to cut your place your pattern to cut on fabric, make sure this one is going to be placed on fold. Okay, you see that it's going to be placed on fold. But this one, you don't need to place them on fold because you need to be joining this one back to the to this one at the end of the day. Okay, so I'm going to quickly show you how to draft your the back pattern in case if you don't have your pattern ready yet. I'm still going to show you how to draft the back pattern so we can move ahead to the cutting tape there to cut it on the fabric. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing, creating my starting point, and I'm going to keep allowance of 2 inches for the zip. Okay, I'm not going to use it all, but it's just for the guideline. Okay, so the next thing, I need to insert my hip length, 8 inches right here, and my 16 inches for my skirt length. I'm going to repeat this measurement here. Okay, I'm going to connect it. So the next thing I need to do, repeat the same measurement how I did on my front, the same thing with that that allowance. So here's my hip, I'm being fast here because there's nothing different here. It's still the same process that I did from the front, okay? So so remember, you need to snatch your waist. By doing that, you need to come in here with 0.5, okay? From your waistline. So I'm going to place my pattern master here to connect it from here to meet to the new waistline, okay? Like you see me doing, right? Good. So automatically you have snatched your waist with 0.5, okay? So now I need to impute my zip allowance. So from this point here, this is where I'm taking my zip allowance. My zip allowance is 1 inches. So the reason why I'm taking 1 inches is because this skirt does not have lining. But if I'm doing with lining, my zip allowance intake is going to be 1.5. Okay, if those of you will want to ask why am I taking only 1 inch, because I took 1.5 on my previous video. So this is because I'm not adding lining to this skirt. But if you want to add lining, then make your zip allowance 1.5 inches. Okay, don't forget this. Make your zip allowance 1.5 inches if you're adding lining to it, okay? But if you're not adding lining, 1 inch is enough. So I'm going to connect all my markings, and after this, I'm going to add my sewing allowance from the side, 1 inch for sewing allowance from the side, 1 inch for sewing allowance from the lower part, and 0.5 here for joining my band to my skirt. Okay, yeah. So that is it. So I need to cut it out. That is my back pattern. So guys, my back pattern is ready. I'm going to label my back pattern so I will know this one belongs to this. And also the zip allowance, I'm going to write it where the zip allowance is, and I'm marking 1 inch to know that okay, I took 1 inch. Remember, this skirt doesn't have a lining, okay, like I said. So yeah, my zip allowance is 1 inch. So I'm marking all the noting all the allowance that I added to my skirt, okay? So that is what I'm doing, and I will urge you to do the same thing. So even though if you give your pattern to somebody else to work on, the person will understand is immediately what you did, okay? So I'm going to assemble all the pattern here so that you can see the picture clear of what we are working on, okay? And once I'm done, I'm going to grab my fabric. So if you're still watching to this moment, please, if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please subscribe, and don't forget to turn on your post notification, okay, so you won't miss out. And give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new, okay? So I'm going to grab my fabric now so that I can Start cutting. So this is my fabric I'm going to use, and the yard I use is less than 1 yard. So if you're a small size, less than 1 yard you can use, but if you're on a bigger size, just 1 yard should be enough for you. So here are my patterns. I'm going to, yeah, these are my pattern. Remember, I added 0.5 inch from this part. So, and this part is going to be called unfold. Okay, make sure you add 0.5 inch for joining allowance. Add 0.5 inch there. Okay, for all the part I'm showing you, please don't forget to add your 0.5 inch so that you can be able to join it, to join the pieces together. So I have cutting out this pattern already. So the width of this fabric is uh, is 12 inches wide. That is the width. So it's going to be uh, it depends how your fabric is going to be consumed. If the length of your skirt is longer, but if it's not that long, if it's short like mine, half yard should be enough for you to make your dress. Okay, not half yard, but less than a yard. So I'm getting a heavy object to place on my fabric because if you notice, the pattern is not staying, it's not stable. So I'm trying to place something on top so that it will be easy for me to work on. Okay, yeah, I'm going to cut out all my pieces now. So right now, I need to explain something for you before we go to our sewing machine to start joining it together. Okay, so first thing you need to do, you need to insert, uh put the mark where your loop is going to be. Okay, now let me show you how to insert your loop. The distance, the how many inches you need to insert your loops. Okay, so I'm going to mark away 2.5 inches. Okay, the distance from, I'm going to mark 2 inches, sorry. Yeah, I'm marking away 2.5 inches from this point. Okay, 2.5 inches to this point here. Remember, I'm going to take 0.5 inches away from here to join to my waistband. So it's going to remain the total of 2 at the end of the day. So that 2 inches, I'm going to place it, mark the 2 inches repeatedly from here. Okay, 2 inches. And here is my 2 inches. So you mark 2 inches here. And then you mark 2 inches here too. Okay, let me make the line bold. So this is where all the loops are going to be. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we have exactly 7 loops that we are going to use here. Okay, so I'm not going to add loops here. So remember, I have 1 inch here to fold in my skirt. So just as I did here, okay, I'm going to extend this line to here, the second one. So the same thing is going to happen here too. So once you have done transferring all these markings, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make a notch so that I can transfer it also to the second line here, okay? So that by the time I'm going to place in my loops, I will not be confused on where or start taking another marking, okay? So watch carefully, please. So I'm going to repeat the same thing all of them with this one, okay? I'm going to transfer all this mark to the other side of the piece, okay? So I'm going to do that so we can now go to the sewing machine to start joining them. So guys, I have done transfer. So I'm done transferring all the markings, okay? I have made a notch all the part where I put those mark, okay? So the next thing now I'm going to do, we're going to head to the machine. We're going to make a loop. So now, not how many loop you're going to get, okay? So remember, we have 7 inches, okay? Sorry, we have 7 loop to from one side, okay? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 7 loop is going to be here, okay? So that same 7 loop is the one that is going to attach to this part, okay? So you have 7 loop here, and then you have 7 loop here. That is total of 14, okay? 14. So you're going to see have another 7 loop here and then another 7 loop here. That is total of 14. So the total loops you're going to make, okay, is 28 loop from the side. So plus one loop from the top, the one you're going to connect it, okay? Note. So if you check out this one, okay, there is another loop up here that you're going to fix your strap to, that you are going is this loop you are going to use it to make all this connection to the down, okay? So you need another additional one loop from here and another additional one loop from here. So that means the total loop you're going to make is 30. I hope you understand. You're going to make a total of 30 loop so you can connect and make your skirt, make your design. Yeah. So I'm going to join this first before I will know how many inches I need to cut out for my waistband. Okay. So without further ado, let's go. And before I will go, please, if you're still watching to this point, if you find this video helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please, this is the moment you need to do that so you will not miss out any tutorial that is coming. And you can help me share with your soulmate, okay? Help me share with your friends if it's something they may be interested to check out, okay? So without further said, without much talking, let's go to the sewing machine to start joining our pieces together to. So the first thing I need to do right now, I need to create my loop. So by doing that, I cut a pieces of 1.5 inch. So now I'm going to fold it like you see me doing, okay? I'm going to fold it like this, and I'm going to stitch it by 0.6 inch, okay? I want much space, not too tiny, so I want it that a little bit wider than the strap itself, okay? So I fold it by 2, so I'm stitching down by 0.6 inches, 0.6 inch, okay? Yeah, I'm going to do that for all this loop. So once I'm done stitching all my loop, I'm going to get my safety pin, and I'm going to bring it use it to turn out my loop to the right side, okay, like you see me doing. So as you can see, my loops are ready. I have used my safety pin to turn it inside out. So I'm going to go to my iron table now to iron it flat, and also I'll use that opportunity to work on my strap. I'm going to cut out the strap also, and then after then I'm going to come back to show you how you can join all your loops together, okay, the loops that you're going to use for the design of the skirt. So my strap is ready. I want to start cutting it with 2.5 inches. So I have done cutting it, so I'm going to be showing you how you need to place it on each of the notch that you mark, okay. So you're going to open your strap, mostly the one that you cut and fold, okay. You open it like so, and then you grab your loops just like you see me doing, okay. You place it like that, and then you get your pin, and then you're going to pin it down, okay. You're going to pin it down like so all the way. Pin all the part that you make a notch, okay, just like you see me doing. So right now I'm done from the other side. From this side I have pinned all this down, so when you're going to join it together, this is how it's going to be, okay. So I'm just demonstrating, showing you how is you need to join it. So after now I'm going to move ahead to the next part to pin it down. So once I'm done pinning, I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other side. I want to use this opportunity to say thank you so much if you're still watching to this moment. And if you're yet to subscribe to my channel, please kindly do so. And don't forget to turn on your post notification, okay? So you will not miss out any tutorial from my page, okay? So I appreciate you for watching to this very moment. So right now, what I need to do now, I need to do the same thing from this side, okay? I'm going to repeat the same thing just like I did on the other part, okay? So I'm done pinning all my loops together, just like you're seeing. I've done. So the next thing now, I need to start stitching it down with 0.5 inch all the way. Remember the joining allowance that we kept? So yeah, I'm going to use the same allowance to join it. So now take note, please take note, okay? So if you're going to join from the waist part, okay, instead of joining with 0.5 inch, join it with 0.6. Okay, if you want your waist to be that snatch, zero from the starting from the waist, stitch it down with 0.6 inch. Then when you're getting close to where your loop going to start, okay, then you can now stitch close to the 0.5 inch, but from the start joining with 0.6, okay, like after two inches, then you cannot start joining it with 0.5 inch. So right now I'm going to start joining with 0.5 inch, okay. Yeah, please pay close attention on this. And you're not doing it for all the pieces that you're going to join, it's just this very part. If you're going to join for the other side of your pieces, do the same thing. It's only two side you're going to do this, okay. Before you get to the 2 inches mark, or before you get to the first loop, start joining with 0.6 inch. Then when you get to the first loop, then you join with 0.5 inch. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So guys, once I'm done, I'm going to trim off all this excess thread that you're seeing. And the next thing now, I'm going to work on my back, at the same time also work on my zip, okay? So if you want to learn how to make your zip, fix your zip to your garment, please pay attention here, all right? So taking allowances of 1 inch that I kept for my zip, so I'm going to stitch it down to the 6 inches length because my waistband is 3 inches. So I'm minus 2 inches, then I'm going to stitch it to 6 inches. So that means my zipper, the length of my zip is 8 inches. Okay. So I'm going to back stitch on that part where my zip is going to stop. I'm going to my zip opening. Let me put it that way. So once I'm done stitching it, just like you see, this is my the part where I'm going to fix my zip. Okay. So before I will go to my ironing table to iron it, I'm going to show you how you're going to place your pieces together. You grab your front part, okay, your front skirt, and then you get your back skirt, okay. You're going to place the right side facing the right side up like so, okay. And you're going to be, once you place it like that, you're going to pin it down, okay. Use your pin to pin it down. So once you've done, you're going to take the measurement. Okay, I'm going to use 1 inch for my joining allowance all the way. Remember, we kept 1 inch for joining allowance, so I'm going to use that 1 inch to join all my pieces all the way down the both side. Okay. So guys, once I'm done, I'm going to head to my overlocking machine to lock in all the rough edges. Okay. And on my table I need to iron this part. I needed mostly the zipper part, so I needed that crease. So this is the front, and I need to lose the part where I'm going to fix my zip. Okay, so I'm going to lose it before I will take my waist measurement to know how many inches I need to cut out. So the length is 29.5 inches. I'm going to add 1 inch for the edge. Okay, so here is my fabric. I place it on fold. I'm going to cut out the part that I needed. Okay, so I have cut it out. So I'm going to repeat the measurement. I'm going to confirm the measurement to be sure how many inches is that. Okay, so I have 30.5 inches. So the 1 inch is going to be the one I'm going to use to lock up the edges. So right now I'm taking the width of my band, which is 2.5 inches. Remember, I'm going to use 0.5 inches 0.5 inch to join it to my skirt. Okay, so the remaining one is going to become my band. So I'm going to trim off those the excess that left from the band, so I can now get my skirt, and then I'm going to pin it to my skirt. Before I will do that, I'm going to use my interfacing to iron on top of my band. I want it to be more firm, so do this. Okay, if you want your band to give it that structure, you must do this. Iron interfacing on top of your interfacing on your waistband. Okay, so that is what I'm doing right now. So once I'm done, I'm going to fold it like so. You remember the 1 inch that I added? I'm going to go to my sewing machine now. I'm going to stitch it down with 0.5 inch on both sides. Okay, I'm going to repeat the same thing like so. So by the time you are done, your band edge is going to be smoother. It's going to look nice and clean. Okay, so now I'm done, and I've also I need to iron it. Okay, I'm going to trim off that part. Once I trim it off, I'm going to turn it out. Just watch carefully like you see me doing. Okay, watch what I'm doing. So once I'm done, I'm going to iron it, and then I will get my skirt. I'm going to place it like you see me doing. Okay, I'm going to face my band to my skirt together. So when I get to the part where I need to add that extra one loop on the top on the waist, like you see me doing right now, okay, you're going to find the midpoint of this part, okay, find the midpoint, and then you're going to make a notch there. Then you place it like so, and then you pin it down. You're going to repeat the same thing from the both side. You pin it down, and then and that is it. The next thing, we are going to head to the sewing machine, and then we're going to start joining all our band together.
So now I'm on my machine joining my band to my skirt using 0.5 inch joining allowance. So you should do the same thing, okay? So yeah, almost done. So once I'm done, I'm going to head to my overlocking machine to overlock all the rough edges. I've already done that on the hemming part, like you see now, and I've also hemmed the part. Now the next thing, now I'm going to fix my zip. So once I'm done fixing my zip, that will be it, guys. Thank you so much, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new from this channel today, okay? I will see you on my another sewing tutorial, but before then, just hold on a bit, you're going to see the finished look. Okay, so this is the finished look. This is me right now trying to fix in the strap, okay? Yeah, that is it for this tutorial today. Thank you so much. All right, have a nice day, have a lovely day, and please guys, I'll always be begging you, when you recreate my tutorial, please, I want to see the end result, okay? I want to see your recreation. If you're done, if you are looking for how to reach me out, please click on the link below. You're going to see my Instagram account. My Instagram account is going to be there, okay? Click on that link. Send me your recreation, please. I want to see your work, okay? Thank you so much once again. If you don't mind, you can also give me a follow on my social media. I'm on Instagram too, I'm on TikTok, and also on Facebook. Anyone that is okay, that is easy for you to reach me out, okay? Use the same name, Julerac, okay? Once if you tap Julerac, you're going to see me pop out, okay? All right, so with that being said, I want you guys to have a lovely day ahead, okay? See you on my next sewing tutorial again. Bye.